All right, well, welcome to level 2 Quadrus problems, the square method of solving quadratic equations. Let's go get this thing. Okay, so first I want to show you why a level 2 is really just a level 1 in disguise, because level 1 problem said like x squared is equal to 25, right? So we're like, oh, okay, so something squared is 25. That was either 5 times 5 or negative 5 times negative 5. Level 2, the difference is going to be that in the parentheses, there's going to be more than just the variable. But fundamentally, it is something squared is equal to something else. That's the same thing it was before, right? Something squared is equal to 25. Something squared is equal to 9. So what we got to do here then is say, okay, that means the something has to be either 3 or the something has to be negative 3. So what it does is it sets up a problem that we're going to have to solve here, because you could draw it if you want. You could say, okay, that's 9, right? Something squared is 9, so we know that's the beautiful geometric solution, and we know the also beautiful algebraic solution is negative 3. So we got to subtract 5, and we get 2 solutions. Brilliant, fantastic. I feel good about that. Let's try another one here. Let's try another one. Oh gosh, okay. Let's go 3x minus 5 squared is equal to 25. All right. Well, hit pause and try to beat me to it. Try to see how far you can get, and then I'll do it for you. So hit pause, unpause. All right. Again, we're something squared is 25, something squared. So I know this thing in the parentheses has got to be 5 or negative 5. So that means that 3x minus 5 has to be 5. Now what? Oh, good. I just checked to make sure it was a recording, because I actually did this video and I forgot to hit record just a second ago. So, and I did it really good the first time. So if this isn't so good, just imagine it was better. That's all you got to do. All right. So now I'm going to add 5 to both sides here. So we get 3x is equal to 10. So x is equal to 10 over 3. So that's fine. Nice fraction answer. Nothing wrong with fractions. Again, I'm going to add 5 to both sides here. So that gives me 3x is equal to 0. So x is equal to 0. And it makes sense, because if x were 10 over 3, the 3's would cancel, and you'd get 10 minus 5, which is 5. 5 squared is 25. And then if x were 0, then this would be negative 5 squared, which is also positive 25. So really nice job, everyone. Let's do another example. Oh, come on. Stay with me, board. Stay with me. All right. Here is another one. Let's do 2x minus 10, level 2, is equal to 22. All right, well, again, it's a level 2. So I got something squared is equal to 22. So the something, right? The something, which is in the parentheses. I'll make it blue as well. So this is the 2x minus 10. That something has to be either the square root of 22 or negative the square root of 22, because that's not a perfect square for us here. So it's got to be that, or it would be negative square root of 22. In both instances, I have to do the same algebraic steps. I'm going to have to add 10 and then divide by 2. So I get x is equal to the square root of 22 plus 10 divided by 2. Similarly, over here, I have to add 10 and then divide by 2. 10 divided by 2. And these are my two solutions. Maybe not quite as fulfilling as the previous two, right? Because they're going to have the radical sign in there. But we are almost never going to round in these types of situations. We're certainly going to default to not rounding. So if you run into a radical that's not a perfect square, you can anticipate your answer is also going to have a radical in it. Now you might notice we always add 10 and divide by 2 for both of these solutions. So what some students do is they go like this. They write the plus and minus, they stack the plus and minus, and then they do the add 10 divide by 2. So it looks like this. Boom, just like that. And so you kind of get both answers in one statement, okay, rather than writing it twice. It's whatever you want to do, though. You are all good. Let's erase that. This is where I want to remind you, or not really remind you, maybe tell you for the first time, is that the power of this quadrus, this square method, is no matter how complicated the quadratic equation gets, we'll make all of them into a level 2, no matter what it is. There's a lot of power in knowing a level 2. And then our little secret is that we know that this is just a level 1 in disguise. So this is our foundation, and we're going to take this foundation, and you'll be surprised how many different equations we'll solve with this subtle, humble little method. All right, well, let's do one more level 2 here. X minus 5 squared plus 11 is equal to 27. All right. So it's still a level 2. It's a little bit more of a complicated one because it's something squared plus this constant over here is equal to 27. So before we can evaluate it, we just want the something squared to be all alone. All right, now we're good. Now we can evaluate it. So something squared is equal to 16. That means this part in the parentheses has to be 4 or -4. Because, you know, let's look at, again, let's build the square. That means it's got to be 4 times 4. That's the beautiful geometric solution. And the also beautiful algebraic solution is that it could also be -4. So let's add 5 to both sides. Add 5 to both sides. And there we go. All right, so if the something squared is not already by itself, we want to do the algebra required to put it by itself. Excellent. And then I would say probably fine at this point. I'll leave it at those 2 examples, or what is it, 4 examples? Okay, well, I hope you're doing well. I'll put the solutions to everything up online. I'll put the whole worksheet solutions up there, so you'll be good. So anyways, stay hip and be kind to each other.